Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with dun, dun, dun. Father Time, what's up, South Carolina? What it do? Eli, I see you. What's up, Connie? What it do? This is going to be a spirited live. I am going to cook. I am going to cook. Yes. What's up, DCTBG? What's up, my good brother? Fat Mac. What's up? The Real Million. Who is that? Benaiah Israel. It's GB, baby. Sweet P. What's up? Is that Natanti? I can't get that one. Blank, blank. What up? All right, fam, I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm going in. So let's talk about some uncivilized mutts. Can we talk about some uncivilized mutts? Family. So Nolan Wells' parents received something very disrespectful in their mail today. And she shared it on social media. Look at what these uncivilized mutts sent to this woman's house. Look at this, fam. You got to get a little close. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. Look at that. So they send the news coverage. This is a picture of her press conference that they recently had after they met with the district attorney. Her husband, Elmore, is right behind her. That's Christine in the front, Christine Wansley. Her husband, Elmore Wansley, in the back. To your left is Al Sharpton, and to your right is Benjamin Crump. And you see the images they have. They got an arrow pointing, starting at their eyeballs, and then they drew money signs next to their face. That's next to Benjamin Crump's face, and next to Benjamin Crump's shoulder, and more like right next to Al Sharpton's face. They got money signs, right? So this is what Christine wrote, and I'm going to tell you what I think about this. I'll read what she wrote first. Whoever sent this to my home, may the good Lord have mercy on your soul. Bold enough to send this crap, but not bold enough to list your return address. This is America, where a grieving mother and father have to deal with this type of behavior because we asked a simple question of what happened to our son and accepted all the help we could get to find answers. Please go touch some grass. I ain't got no problem with that. So what these uncivilized mutts are trying to do is to shame the family into hiding, cowering. These uncivilized mutts, they think really lowly of Black people, so they don't even see Black people as human beings. Let me point out right now before I go too far that I am not talking about all white people. I have to constantly say this because new people come to my platform daily and y'all don't know me. So y'all really don't know how I rock. But let me explain something to you. And maybe you can tell others when they jump into the comments and talking reckless or say something negative about me or whatever. Which it ain't gonna stop me from doing nothing that I do. I rock with who rock with me. I love who love me. I hate who hate me, regardless of what you look like, what your background is, all of that. You love me, I love you. You hate me, I hate you 1,000,000 times more. The hate that I have for you, say, bro, you can't even put it into words. I don't give a damn about you. I don't care nothing about impressing you. I don't care nothing about what you think. You are so beneath me. You're like gum at the bottom of my shoe. I don't respect nothing about you. I don't like nothing about you. I don't respect nothing about you. You're nothing to me. That's how I rock. So now that that's out the way, let me focus on the uncivilized mutt or mutts who sent that message. See, I know you. I studied you. You don't understand how much I've studied you because I'm trying to figure out the psychology behind the hatred. Like how you can be descendants of people who harmed another group of people who were subjugated, castrated, enslaved. This group of people that you belong to committed the greatest atrocities in the world against another group of people. But your hate is more resounding than their hate for you could ever be. Your hate for them is more resounding than their hate for you. How that happen? What? Talk about arrogance. Talk about self-entitlement. The same people who built this country that you brag so much about and you love so much, the people who built it, you go out of your way to try to deny them power. You try to go out of your way to harm them, to harm their bodies. You go out of your way to penalize them, to discriminate against them, to murder them, to do everything you can to hold this one particular group back. It's nobody else. It's this one particular group that you target. And your mentality is anybody but black. That's your mentality. Anybody but black. So black folks out there, some of y'all out there, you've allowed the chatter in the background to get to you and it messes with your confidence. Let me tell you, you're looking in the wrong direction. You already are on the winning team. What is you looking over there? You think because somebody got some stuff that they're a winner because they own a baseball team or football team, or they got some land and they own a car dealership or car manufacturer. They own some big stuff. You think they somebody just because of that? Let me tell you something. I'd rather eat crumbs with bombs than steaks with snakes. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I like money. And I get money, don't get me wrong. But there are things that are far more important than money. I had a rich white friend who died about 20 years ago. He died at the age of 65. He had cancer. He was fighting for his life. I watched his body deteriorate. He owned an office building in Houston's Memorial area. It's the rich area in Houston, right? Rich area, right? I watched this man suffer for days, weeks, and months. And he had this big house. He had this big office building not far from his house. He had land, he had stocks and bonds, millions and millions and millions of dollars in the bank. When he was on his deathbed, this man said he would trade it all to be healthy. So all that so when you look at people and you just look at stuff and you judge people by the stuff they have, that's a bad way of thinking, man. Because let me tell you something. I've been rich, poor. Let me start off. Let me back up. I've been poor, rich, poor again, rich again. So I've seen both sides a couple of times. And I can tell you, when I didn't have my mind right, and I had money coming in so fast that I forgot to cash checks. I would look in my pants pockets. This is back when I used to carry money in my pockets. I used to carry $10,000 in each pocket. I thought that I was doing something. You know, I wanted people to know I got money. I got money. Pull out that money. Yeah, you know, because I ain't never had nothing. But then, just like everything else in life, and anybody out there who has an excess amount of money, you can vouch for this, who's had it for a while. After a while, you realize, like a car, like a pair of shoes, like a house, money is just a tool that you use to make your life a little easier. But if you ain't got your mind right, if you ain't got the right kind of energy, you can literally kill yourself. You can deplug, you can pull the plug on your own life. If your mind, the uncivilized mutts who sent that grieving family that message, if you're just not joining, this is the message. Hold on. If you're just not joining, this is the message that the uncivilized mutts sent Christine Wansley. This is Nolan Wells' mother. Well, they sent it to her and her husband. They sent it to their house. You can see Al Sharpton got the arrow coming from his eye and pointing at the money. Money's dollar signs. On your right, you see Ben Crump got the arrow pointing down at the dollar signs. And then you see the grieving mother and the grieving father trying to hold it together. He's trying to hold it together, man. But he know he got to be strong for Christine first. The father, I don't know if y'all know how deep this is, man. Elmore, he has to put his pain on pause to hold up Christine. And he'll deal with his pain a little later. And these uncivilized, listen, fam, see, some of us, we can't even understand, we can't even begin to understand how a person could do something like this. Some of us, like, we can't even begin to understand how someone could just indiscriminately kill a person who they ain't never met or somebody who ain't never did anything to them before. We can't understand that. We can't understand how somebody can take a gun and just kill a whole entire family. We can't understand stuff like that. We can't understand how so-called friends can take their friend out on a boat outing and everybody come back home, but that one friend who is of a different ethnicity. And we don't understand how it can happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And each time that it happens, law enforcement are slow or no to respond. And when they do respond, they're quick to say, well, we don't suspect foul play. They're never quick to say, we suspect foul play. It's always, we don't suspect foul play. A black person get hung, well, we don't suspect foul play. They already don't suspect foul play before they even see the body. As soon as they get the call, oh, I got a black person hanging. Oh, hey, honey, I'll be home a little bit late. I got to go over here and check this nigga. I mean, black person. Well, I can say nigga, you know how I talk. Yeah, anyway, I don't think nobody's listening. Yeah, I got to go check and see. It's foul play. It'll be quick. I ain't got. I got to go. We don't understand how people can be that way. We don't understand how human beings can treat human beings like that. We do not understand that. Just like when they killed Emmett Till, we can't understand how do you snatch up a 11-year-old boy, or 14, I think Emmett Till was 14, a 14-year-old boy who's visiting his uncle from out of town. From the uncle's house, drag him to a remote place, beat him to death to where he's unrecognizable, to where his own mama can't recognize him, and then lynch him. All because he allegedly whistled at a white woman. Let me tell all of you white men out there something who are obsessed with possessing white women. Because you don't love white women like you claim you do. You know how I know? It just gave them voters' rights a few decades ago. You don't, and some of y'all pushing agendas right now where you don't want white women voting. So you don't love white women like you think you do. You like the idea of possessing white women. That's mine. No different than an average abuser. That's mine. And if I can't have it, nobody can. That's the mentality. If you love white women like you say you do, you wouldn't make so many white women widows. And you wouldn't kill so many white women. You would not RAP so many white women. Let's get that straight. Because what y'all like to do is try to use black folks as the poster child, black men as the poster child for the boogeyman. He's the guy that's going to get you. No. Almost exclusively, white women are violated sexually by white men. Almost exclusively. That whole island that Epstein owned was raided by white men looking for little baby girls. Not a black man in sight. But you got white women scared. You got white women thinking the black man the boogeyman. So now you're killing our boys. You change the mythology. Hanging ain't good enough. Hanging, sometimes that might take a little too much work, leave a little too much evidence, but we can drown them. That's the new mythology. That's what they're doing now. I'm going to give you black boys a warning, you black young men a warning, just like the United States would give the citizens of the United States a warning. Just like we got a warning for the pandemic. Don't come outside, or if you do go outside, make sure you wear your mask. If you're hanging out with your white buddies right now ain't a good time. So you might want to fall back on that a little bit. Some of y'all upset. I'd rather you be upset than somebody dead. If some of y'all had more balls, I'm talking specifically to the ones who are upset about what I'm saying right now. If you was as upset with your white friends and family members and acquaintances and associates as you are, if you was as upset with their actions and the way that they go about their racist activities as you are with how that I'm talking about it, I wouldn't be talking about it because the problem wouldn't even be big enough to warrant an audience. We can't figure out how white people hate black people that much when white people have overwhelmingly been the aggressors, the attackers, the killers, the monsters, the deniers, the thieves, the liars. This is fact, not fictional. This is fact. This is documented. This is why they're trying to whitewash history. This is why they're trying to get the history books out of the schools. This is why they don't want the history taught, because on one hand, they're ashamed of what they did. On the other hand, they're proud. That's why they still want the Confederacy. That's why they still go crazy when you try to take away that Confederate flag, when you try to take away their statues, because those statues and that Confederate flag is a reminder of when things were really good for them, when they could kill black people with impunity and it never even be questioned, when they could kill black people and walk into a courtroom as a defendant and sit there and snicker and laugh all the while the prosecutor is presenting their case. And the prosecutor is snickering and laughing and going on too. Because it's all a dog and pony show. The judge is laughing too. All of them are laughing. So we're supposed to just blindly trust law enforcement. The family is supposed to just blindly trust law enforcement, especially in Mississippi, one of the worst states in the union. Mississippi? You're supposed to just blindly trust law enforcement, blindly trust the judicial system, the coroner, the medical examiner, the search team, everybody. Supposed to just blindly search. The way they get away with the crimes is that They all look after each other, and they all go wink, wink. I ain't seen nothing. You seen something? Yeah, I seen something, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Well, at least not to them. I ain't gonna say nothing to somebody that can do something about it. They all in the same game. This is why it's going on. And let me tell you something. The white boys that killed Nolan, they ain't tough. They ain't tough. None of the other ones who killed all the other black people through the years, they ain't tough either. The only reason why they've done it, the only reason why they've been able to do it is because they've been able to get away with it because law enforcement protects them. And the reason why law enforcement protects them is because law enforcement is often involved in these type of crimes themselves. Yeah. They're with it. This is why they don't penalize the Karens and the Kens who waste resources calling the police about nonsense when they're trying to make a black body move around. They don't like the idea that you're in the neighborhood. So they calling the police, wasting resources, calling the police, wasting resources. And they don't get penalized ever for it, ever. Police come out there and just, I couldn't be the police. Because if I was to ever get a call from Karen, oh, they're going to have to fire me because her ass is going to jail. Oh, she going to jail. I got bigger and better things to do. See, if I was a cop, I'd be for the community for real. I'd be one of them ones that be like, hey, look, man, we ain't doing that. That ain't happening. I'm trying to keep the neighborhood safe. Man, see, I'm too serious about what I do. Whatever I do, I'm going to take it seriously or I'm not going to do it at all. So if I'm going to be a cop, I'm going to be one of them dudes who going to be really trying to make the neighborhood safe. I'm not taking nobody to jail on no petty stuff. If I see a little youngster out there doing something bad, he trying to sell a little something, trying to do whatever, you know what I'm telling him? Say, man, get out of here with that. Don't let me catch you back out here. Then I'm going to have to do what I got to do. But I'm not going to just right off the bat, come on, give it, putting records on people and all that. I'm going to try to, because some of these youngsters, they feel like they ain't got no other out. So sometimes they just got to get a little tap, get back in line. Now, don't let me catch you back out here again, because now you're going to put my job in jeopardy. You're trying to make my job hard. So then I'm going to have to tap you. But other than that, man, I ain't out here jumping out, man, trying to putting these cases on these little youngsters out here, man, out here making stupid mistakes. They ain't putting them cases on them little young white boys that's making all these stupid mistakes. You know what they do? Diversion program. I ain't even never heard of a diversion program until I got to the money. Diversion programs. They go out there and do something. A lot of these judges, doctors, lawyers, politicians, they've been in diversion programs. But now they're sitting in judgment of everybody else, and they hard on everybody else, especially black people. They sitting around acting like they perfect. Some of these dudes that run Fortune 500 companies, they've been in these diversion programs. They've been having their records sealed. They got all kinds of stuff on their records. But because they're of a certain hue and they dress a certain way, they get a pass. We can't understand the hatred because we don't have that type of hate for no group of people. We don't have that type of hate for no group of people. And I'm going to tell you straight up, fam, I'm going to keep it 1,000. If I didn't personally have white friends, if I didn't personally have white people that have been in the trenches with me, who I know that's been actually battle tested, if I hadn't seen white people lose their lives trying to protect black people, trying to hide black people from slave catchers and killers, if I I hadn't seen these type of things happen for real, where white people have been ostracized and ran into exile. If I ain't know of cases like that, I'd be on some all white people. I would be on that time. I would be on that time, and I wouldn't have no problem with it. But that's not my experience. That's not my experience. I've seen the good in some white people, and I recognize the bad. If you're on the good side, you're good with me. But you uncivilized mutts, say, man, you met your match. Yeah. I don't want to be friends with you. I ain't trying to kiss. I ain't kissing your ass to get along with you. None of that. None of that. We don't understand how people could be like that because we're not like that. I just don't get it. If any group of people had a right to hate another group of people, let me be more specific. If you got black here, a black group of people here, the black society, the whole black race here, and the whole black white race here, if you think about who's committed the most crimes against who's committed the most atrocities against who's caused the most damage to what group, it's over. It ain't even close that white people have caused more damage. It ain't even close. And they continue to cause damage. The president is in office right now, continuing to work on initiatives to roll back the hands of civil rights. It ain't even close. So if you look at both sides and you say to yourself, if a person on the outside, we ain't talking about black or white person, let's look, Asians ain't got a dog in the fight. Okay, let's say Asians. Let the Asians do it. Let the Asians decide. Okay. Asians. Which side has caused the most harm to who? If any side got the right to really hate and really want to destroy and really harm the other side, it's black people who have the right to feel that way. It's black people, not white people. It ain't even close. So how is it that y'all are that hateful? And it don't do nothing to you. It don't do nothing to you to wake up every day like that, to wake up just mad. It don't do nothing to you at all to just give a person 60 years for stealing a Snicker out the store. I got it. He had 2 priors. I got it. He had 2 felonies. I got it. 3 strikes and you out. I got it. But a person without moral flexibility scares the hell out of me. And I know you have moral flexibility. It just depends on who you're administering it to. I know you have it. I've seen you do it. But you don't have it for black people. I couldn't have it on my conscience that I sent a man to jail for 60 years for stealing a damn Snicker out the store. 60 years for stealing a bicycle. I couldn't live with something like that, man. How y'all do it? We used to have a judge in Houston in the Harris County. This uncivilized mutt, white dude, he used to dig in his pocket, and however much change he had in his pocket, that's how many years he would give you. If your time, if it ranged within the punishment, if he was in range if the change he had was in the range, that's how much time you was going to get. Remember also, a few years ago, they busted a judge for working with a prison. He was sending juveniles, black juveniles, and a few Latinos to prison for minor cases. He was sending them to prison, feeding the prison industrial system, and he was getting a kickback. And they finally busted him. I don't know where that bomb is right now, but a sitting judge did that. I couldn't have something like that on my conscience, man. I wouldn't want something like that on my record as a human being. And they love to invoke Christ. They love to talk about God. And they love to talk about family values, while the whole while they over here playing with little kids, talking about family values. When it comes to these uncivilized mutts, every accusation is a confession. Usually what they accuse others of doing, they're guilty of the exact same thing. When Black people do break the law, they want to punish them beyond punishment, because in their minds, the law is there to protect them and to punish you. Protect them and punish others. That's what the law is for. They call themselves trying to shame the family for raising money. These are the same uncivilized mutts. Raising money in a time of need, okay? These are the same uncivilized mutts who rewarded George Zimmerman for killing Trayvon Martin, gave him hundreds of thousands of dollars. They rewarded Officer Darren Wilson, gave him hundreds of thousands of dollars for killing Michael Brown. They rewarded Kyle Rittenhouse, gave him hundreds of thousands of dollars. He may have gotten over $1 million. Same thing with, what's his name, Reginald Penny. Over $1 million. Not one person was counting his money. But not one person said, they don't even know who the lawyers are who represented him. They don't even know the names of the lawyers. They don't know the names of the lawyers. And they don't know anything about the judge or anything. All they know is that person's name was in there putting in some work for white supremacy, so they're going to support it. And you know why they support it? Because they think by supporting it, it can make them hold on to power longer. Even though the ones who actually do the worst, they really don't have no power. That power is reserved for powerful white people who really got the money and make the real decisions. They use all the white people at the bottom to put the work in and do their bidding. The white person that's walking up and down the street, he gonna be the first one to get his head knocked off. He gonna be the first one to lose his family, lose his freedom. But the ones sitting up high, they ain't gonna spend one day in jail. They're not gonna spend one day in jail. They're not gonna get killed. They're gonna dog whistle and let all the minions go out there and put the work in and lose their families, lose their peace, lose their lives. That's what they're gonna do. And it still works. To this day, it's still working. They want to try to shame the family who is a grieving family right now, who is in need of financial support. They're going to try to shame them by saying, they're trying to get the money. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs money. Okay? Don't let nobody shame you. Look, when you look at accidents in this country, when people are done wrong in this country, whether it's an accident or it's on purpose, when people are done wrong in this country, it's two ways that we get justice: financially or criminally. We try to put somebody in prison or you're trying to make sure that the family is compensated, or loved ones or the person that was done wrong is compensated financially in some kind of way. The only time you hear complaints about financing, the only time you hear complaints about somebody being financially compensated for a wrong, or somebody being financially aided who is in need, is when it's a Black person on the receiving end. This is why I don't give a damn about what none of you cocksuckers say. None of you. Because I know where you're coming from. I know why you say what you say. I know you. I studied you. I studied you. Boy, I studied you way more than you studied me. I'm telling you. I've studied you. I used to get on the bus in high school every day. I did two things. I read the metropolitan section, the business section, and the main page every day. I would give a sports section to anybody who wanted it. Get back there and I read the paper on the way to school. I looked up new words every day, a new word, how to pronounce it, how it was spelled, how to use it in a sentence properly, every single day. And on a weekly basis, I would study American history. So I know you. I studied you. Oh yeah. So I know where it comes from. When they make these type of statements, it's just they're deflecting. It's a defense mechanism that they use to try to undermine Black progress. This is why they're always talking down about Black activists. When a Black activist goes out there and risks their life, they go out there and they put in work. They're out there in the hot sun, they're in the cold, they braving the weather, they're braving the fools out there that might be out to knock them off. People out here, these crazy people out here with shotguns and all kinds of stuff, man. These people, it's a crazy ass society we live in. But these activists go out there on the front lines. And they go out there with no protection. And they go out there and they're behind enemy lines. The police is all around them oftentimes, but the police is never on their side. The police is always going to be on the side of the establishment, never on the side of the righteous. They're on the side of the establishment. So if something kick off, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to jail. Even if they defend themselves, you know how hard it is it's going to be if they survive the encounter for them to actually come out with a winning verdict? It's going to be very difficult because the entire system is going to be on their side against them because they want to punish them and use them as an example for any other would-be steppers. You understand what I'm saying? So it is. Malcolm X died broke. We love to talk about Malcolm. And Malcolm was a great orator. Malcolm was a great man. A man who came from the gutter, cleaned himself up with the help of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, cleaned himself up, became one of the greatest human beings that God has ever produced. Put his life on the line, knowing his life was on the line, had his house blown up. When they finally got him, He was broke. All of these people that was saying this and that and this and that, nobody helped the family. Well, they got some aid, but you know what I'm saying. With all of the people Malcolm inspired, his family should have immediately had millions and millions of dollars, but that wasn't the case. So I think most of us can agree that Malcolm was one of our elite activists. You want activists today to see what happened to Malcolm X, to see what happened to Martin Luther King, who both essentially died in vain, because when you look back at all of the work that they put in and how it's been rolled back and how many of us didn't live up to the promises that they made or that they actually materialized, we shut the doors that they opened for us. We shut the doors for others to walk through. You think the activists today don't see that? And that you think the activists today supposed to put their families at risk? They're supposed to put their lives on the line and come home to an empty house because the wife couldn't take it no more, or the husband couldn't take it no more. You putting in more work. You seem like you love these people more than you love us. You think the activist supposed to be broke? Man, you out of your rabbit ass mind. These people out here putting their lives on the line for real. These people getting harassed daily, getting death threats and everything, especially the people out here who fighting for black folks, especially the ones who riding for black folks. You could damn near ride for anybody else, but if you ride for black folks, oh, they coming for you. And they riding for black folks anyway? And you think they supposed to be broke? They supposed to be millionaires. You gonna give these damn basketball players and football players and rappers and tech guys millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they ain't affecting your life one way or the other. You ain't gonna call them when the police beat your head in. You ain't gonna call them when the police gun down one of your relatives. You're gonna call that activist. That's the first thing you're gonna be trying to figure out. I've even seen some of these people who talk down on activists. Call them in when they was in need, when them folks finally came for them, when they got that N-word wake-up call. Now they trying to slide back in on the good side. Don't you let nobody trick you out of your position. If you're an activist, man, you make sure that you do something and you set your situation up to where you can take care of your family so that you can go out there and do your work properly. At the very least, you need to make sure you take care of home first. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, most of these people that you out here helping, man, when you need help, they're not going to be there for you. They're not going to be there. We ain't got no problem giving to the United Way. We ain't got no problem giving the Red Cross and all these organizations that we see the big flashy names and on the cars and all the bright colors. We ain't got no problem. We even go to the supermarket. See the little box, used to have a little box. Some of the places still have a little box, little tip for donations for this cause or that cause. We ain't got no problem. Yeah. Would you like to round it off to help little children, the little children in the neighborhood build a new sidewalk? Sure. Sure. You just go round it off. You ain't got no problem rounding it off. But when it comes to helping your own, directly helping your own, helping your people, you got a problem with that. You want to pocket watch and count what they're making. You got organizations right in your neighborhood, right in your own city that put the work in daily. They got to go out on the corner with boots, begging for money. They got to do car washes to raise money to continue to do the work that the city actually should be doing, that the government should be doing. They got to have a fundraiser every damn week. But these big old organizations that you don't even see, you don't even know who run the organization, you don't know nothing about who on the board, you don't know nothing about their mission statement. All you know is the name is familiar, they big, let me shoot a little money over there. And you don't even think about it. So when they try to shame, they start trying to act like Benjamin Crump ain't supposed to get paid for what he do. Benjamin Crump is not a criminal attorney. For the last time, you uncivilized mutts, Benjamin Crump is a civil lawyer. He's a civil attorney. His job is to get people paid. That is his job. His job is to get you financial justice. That's his job. If you want financial justice, you call Ben Crump. Let me ever find myself in that position. I'm calling Ben Crump because I know he gonna get me financial justice. Now let me be on the other side where I need a Al Sharpton. I may not call Al Sharpton, but I'm damn sure calling Candace Matthews. I'm damn sure calling Zeke. I'm gonna get somebody who can help me navigate these treacherous waters. And they should be compensated. If I get my hand on any kind of money, any kind of aid, they should be compensated. The only reason why they talk down on Al and Benjamin Crump is because they're helping Black people. That is it. I can guarantee you, if Christina the Latina, I can guarantee you that they wouldn't have gotten a message like that. And they could have Ben Crump and Al Sharpton. They wouldn't have got a message like that. It's the same thing with SNAP benefits and welfare. More white people are on welfare than any other group. But when Black people use welfare, it's the same system that all of us pay into. We all pay into the system. It is there to aid people who need help. Yeah, there are some people that abuse the system. I've seen a few arrests. I've seen some Black people get arrested. I've seen some white people get arrested. I've seen some Hispanic people get arrested. I've seen some Asian people get arrested abusing SNAP. But it is there to help those of us who need financial help, a little assistance. That's what it's for. They never have anything to say about white people who collect SNAP benefits. But even if a Black person is not collecting SNAP benefits, they like to make jokes about Black people collecting SNAP benefits. Oh, probably on welfare. They've made Black people the face of welfare. You know who did that? The American government and the media. The media has always worked in collusion with the government to paint Black people in a negative way. Now, why would they do that? Yeah, you tripping, man. So you saying CNN on it, CNN on it, ABC, CBS. No, Fox. No, it ain't just Fox. Fox really should be named something else because a fox is cunning. Ain't nothing cunning about Fox News. They're crud. They're uncouth. Straight up trash. The others are cunning because they make you think they're for you. But really, they ain't no different. The only difference is their tone. That's it. The texture of their message. That's it. They're all looking for the same results. These people, they paint us in a negative way. The media and the government are in collusion. They collude to make Black people look bad all over the world. Because if they can make us look bad, they can justify their mistreatment of us. It's the same thing that they do. It's the same propaganda machine play that they run when they want to start a war. Let's make the leader of the country look bad. You ever notice it's never the people in the country? They always target a leader. And they say the leader is treating his people bad. The leader is harming people. He's stealing. He's killing people. The leader. It's always the leader. Now they can justify, now that they've made him look like the boogeyman, the worst person ever, now it's easy to go in and wipe him out. Now it's easy. So when they kill him, now we're thinking, whew, we dodged the bullet, man. Whew, man, thank God he killed him, man. Oh, man, we're safer now. We're never safer when you have leaders of your country going out and arbitrarily killing other leaders. You're not safer. What you just did was gave your leader more power than is needed to run the country. Our leader do not need to direct the murder of another leader for America, for Americans to have a good life. The Ayatollah Ali Khamenei being murdered did not improve not one of our lives. Not one. So what's it really about? You got people out there just don't like to see Black people have any type of age, any type of edge, any type of joy, community, love, peace, money. So when they see that, they got to try to figure out how can I dismantle it? How can I undermine it? What can I say to make their day bad? How can I make them have a horrible day? Look at who the police killing. When's the last time you heard that the police killed a gang member? I'm not advocating that they go out there and do that. But when's the last time have you heard they killed a gang member? They do not kill gang members. They kill our best. They kill the youngsters who are about to graduate college or who's graduated college, who owns their own business. They kill the father, the loving father of 4 or 5. They kill that father who comes home and take care of his business. That's what they kill. Who do their young boys kill? They kill our young boys who are our most promising, our most bright, the ones who give us a better chance at having a better future. That's who they kill. Have you been noticing a trend where every single one of these little boys that's been killed as of late, that we've been finding out about, including TJ Davis, who was killed 5 years ago by his white buddies, 4 white buddies, drowned. By the way, I'm going to be talking to his mother tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Join me for that. I'm sure you're going to want to hear what I got to say. And you're definitely going to want to hear what she has to say. You ever notice how all of these boys were good students, intelligent, likable, friendly, had goals? That's who they're killing. Now, where does that come from? That comes from a deep-seated hate and fear. Fear. Why do you systematically target a group of people, a single group of people, who you feel that you're superior to? Why do you try to undermine them? Why do you try to take away power from them? Why do you try to deny them power if you're so much better than them? Why do you go out of your way to deny them power, to try to take away power from them? Because you are afraid of what Black people will become if they're ever given the resources that everybody else has. That's your greatest fear. That's it. That trumps the Black man dating your white woman, who you really don't care about like you act like you do. Because if you did, white women wouldn't be getting killed and RAP'd as much as they do by white men. They wouldn't be getting beat up like they do. You think they started these women's shelters because Black women were getting beat up? They started those women's shelters because white women were being beat up. White women were being left homeless. White men were leaving their women, leaving their married woman, their wife, for younger women. And that wife, who ain't never had no other job and had no other a form of income, had to go to a shelter. You can't fool me with it. You can't hit me with the Jedi trick. I know you. I studied you. Oh, Willie D, you've been to jail, you've been to prison, and I'm in some good company. Malcolm went to prison. I'm in some good company. Some of your greatest heroes been to prison. So you can't define me by my past. My past don't define me. It refined me. Okay? So you can't get me, well, shit, you sold this, you sold some people some iPhones and you didn't give them their phones and that, and paid restitution, did my time. And now what you got? What else you got? See, the thing that I know about y'all is the same thing I know about everybody else in the world. Ain't none of us perfect. So when you start trying to play that little thing, I can do it 1,000 times better than you. Give me a little time and I'll find some information on anybody. Give me a little time. I'll find some information on anybody. If you're just not joining, fam, just covering this crazy message that somebody sent Christine Wansley, Nolan Wells' mother and father, Elmore Wansley. If you zoom in, you'll see that they drew some lines, some arrows, and money signs next to Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump's face. So I guess they want Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton to feel shamed that they are getting paid to provide the services that they provide. They want Christine Wansley to not have the help of Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton. They want her to get out there all by herself and try to figure it out. They want Elmore to get out there all by himself and figure it out. They don't want them to have help. See, the reason why they posted that is because they know that money is going to help the family, and they don't want the family to have no help. See, they know that money is going to make things, make the process a little less harder. And they don't want the process to be a little less harder, because they are glad off the rip that they're going through what they're going through in the first place. You see? They're happy that they're going through what they're going through. They're excited about that. These uncivilized must have no conscience. They have no conscience. When you try to think, like, how could people do something like that? You're dealing with uncivilized mutts. Just like the trauma from slavery has been passed down, the corruption, the hatred, the contempt, the wickedness from slavery has been passed down. We thought these old uncivilized mutts from the 60s, when they die, everything was going to be cool. Because we thought, well, they got a new generation of children out here, these white kids, they're going to change it. You know, I see them, you know, they're going to change things, you know, like, because these kids are getting along and they're not tripping on race like that. And to an extent, to a degree, there are white kids out there that are not tripping on that. There are kids out there are black kids out there that are not tripping on that. But I want my black kids to understand, and this is more important that I tell black kids this than white kids this, because the black kids are the ones losing their lives. The black kids are the ones hanging out with the white friends, and the black kids are the ones who are not coming home. I'm not hearing no series of cases where white people are hanging out with their black friends and they end up missing, they're drowned, they're hung, they slipped on a banana. I don't hear those type of cases. It's always the black person hung out with their white friends and the black person end up dead. And it's always the white people who never tell on each other. It's a code of silence. So I got to give these black kids a fair warning to be careful. Yeah, you got to vet your black friends too, because you can have black friends and Latino friends and Asian friends, and the same thing could happen to you. But it's something about hanging out with these white kids who got that devil in them. It's some of these white kids got that monster in them. They got that degenerate gene that's been passed down from the ancestors. They got it. And if you mess around and come in contact with one of them, you can get yourself killed. So you got to be extra careful. White people, y'all tired of hearing these stories? Hold your people accountable. That could stop it today. Y'all can make this stop quicker than anybody else could. I'm seeing a lot of white people speaking out. A lot of white. I ain't never seen this many white people in my lifetime speak out against racism candidly. I haven't seen that before. But white people, right now, are speaking out. Checking. It's got to keep going. It cannot be a trend. It's got to be a way of life. Because fighting racism has been a way of life for us as Black people. If you truly are our allies, hell, you ain't even got to be an ally of Black people, just be an ally of humanity. If you're the decent white person you say you are, then you see something, you say something. You don't kick it with the white friends who use the N-word and hard R. You don't do that. You let them uncivilized mutts be. And you call it out every time. You don't get to have the luxury of saying you're not like them and still allow them to do what they do and be around them. You can't be around them. You can't hang around them. You can't befriend them. You can't date them. You can't have sex with them. You can't procreate with them and say you're not like them. Because if you do, you would be lying. No, if you do, you are just like them. Learning in Grace, what's up? After Truth, Tammy, China Carter, what's up, China? Aura, Shabazz, Leslie, Sweet Pea, Erica, Tasha, what's up? Antoinette, see, caption this, Big Valley, The Breeze, J.C. King, what's up, J.C. King? Will Red, Lavender Honey, Fuzzy Bedhead, Under Threat Nation, J. Millie. What's up, Ebony? Mr. Make It Happen. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Make sure you hit that like button before you jump out of here, fam. No more talk.